All right, so we managed to pull in Lawrence Okolie. Now, like, I'm known to butcher names, right? Did I do okay?
Yeah, you did a good job there.
All right, so obviously this is a huge event for you to be a part of, right?
Yeah.
80,000 plus people expected to be in the arena. You're Olympic gold medalist, so I mean, you've reached the pinnacle of the amateur boxing, career. Now here you're at the professional level. I mean, what does it mean to you to be on Anthony? I mean, he's an icon here in this country, to be on this card and open up, so to speak, for Joshua?
No, it's amazing. This is going to be my second time where I'm meant to box at Wembley. Fortunately, this time I get out. I was here for the Joshua versus Klitschko fight, but unfortunately I was pulled at the last minute for time reasons. So I'd really built myself up to box. So now, because of the work I put in from that point to this point, I'm now got a guaranteed slot. So I'm really looking forward to it. It means a lot, but ultimately I feel this is all steps in my own journey to eventually one day being able to headline something like this myself.
And you got a pretty good journey so far. So how many of those 80,000 fans are going to be there for you?
All of them. All of them are there for
But
me.
they're just going to happen to see Joshua,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we might as well wait, see the main event.
Might as well see the main event.
And you come from humble beginnings, right? I mean, at one point you were flipping burgers, so to speak. How long ago has it been since that?
6 years now. I left in 2012, straight after the London Olympics, and then managed to get to the 2016 Olympics, and now we're here in 2018. So it's been a reasonable journey.
How much do you know about your opponent?
I know a lot. Before we were going to fight, he's already been champion. Before I turned professional, he's already ranked #1 in Britain. So within the 18 months from when I turned professional to now, I've managed to get to #2 spot. So I've always known who he is and what he's about. So yes, I look forward to winning.
Right, but you don't care. You're still looking to knock him out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ultimately, that's the aim of any boxer. I like the feeling of a knockout. Not only is it exciting, but it means I don't have to be in the ring for any longer.
How special is the British cruiserweight title to you?
To me, it's amazing because I won the Commonwealth title already, and as an amateur, I would have looked to win the Commonwealth, European and British, and then Olympic gold in 2020. So I'm on that journey now as a professional, so it will be stop #2 and in 18 months, so it means I can push on to go for the European and World sooner than I would have expected.
Sounds good. I've always noticed that the cruiserweight division never really gets a lot of shine.
Yeah.
What do you think you could do to change that?
I feel like, fortunately, there's been the World Boxing Super Series that Dazn has now got that has shown a lot of light. I feel like putting myself on these sort of fights, on these sort of occasions. So I've headlined 2 shows already this year, one at the O2 Arena, one at York Hall, and I've been on this show. So getting people to know me, getting people to be excited about the way that I fight, that brings it. And also not being afraid to take fights, because a lot of boxers are afraid to really step up and go for it.
Lawrence, what is the significance to you of the Commonwealth title?
The Commonwealth title was significant because 2018 is the Commonwealth boxing year. So Great Britain and the other Commonwealth countries box in the amateurs for it. So I wanted to keep an eye on that. So the Commonwealth was a great title to win, just to call myself a champion. I've let that go, and now I want to be champion of Britain.
You're kind of a mama's boy, right? You're making some money now. You're not fighting for free, but you're still staying home at mama. Is it some sort of comfort level why is it that you haven't moved up?
I feel like it's good because I have all my close friends around. Some of them are looking around in the background, and it keeps me in the same area doing the same stuff. So I know my run routes. I know the people in the area. And like I say, the same. Obviously, I'm doing a little bit better now, but ultimately, AJ is the millionaire, so I need to work my way up there.
Well, you're almost there, and there you have it, folks. This great young man, Lawrence Okolie. Now,
can we get a prediction for the main event before we get out of here? I mean,
the main event. I've been watching AJ in training this camp. I feel like it will be competitive for the first maybe 3 or 4 rounds, and AJ's youth, fitness, and desire are gonna get him to get the stoppage probably within 6 to 9.
Did you hear his prediction? He said he's predicting that he's going to end this fight in the 8th round.
8th, okay, it's a bit longer. Oh, 6 to 9.
Right, yeah. So you were right there along those lines.
Yeah. No, I think that's accurate. It's not because necessarily Povetkin is chinny or one shot's going to do it, but I feel the accumulation, the damage you'll be taking with the jabs, the shots, going to bust him up, and that'll get him out of there.
What's your friendship like with Anthony Joshua?
No, it's a good one. Obviously, it started when I watched him on TV win the Olympic gold, to spar on him, And now, I mean, this chain here right now is one that he actually got me. It's part of his paternity one.
Oh,
so yeah, we're good.
Well, how did you originally? When did you originally meet AJ?
I met him in the gyms through sparring, and through there, obviously the work I put in, the way I handled myself, it spread out. And
so you sparred him before?
Yeah, many
So he
times.
hits pretty hard.
Yeah, he hits pretty hard, but obviously I'm quite a big guy myself, even though I'm a cruiserweight, so I hit hard too.
Do you think you hit hard as these heavyweights? Or,
Yeah,
or do you think you even move up to heavyweight?
Eventually, I feel like my legs need a little bit of work, but once my legs are built up, then definitely. But in terms of now, yeah, I definitely punch hard enough to compete with heavyweights, as we'll see on Saturday.
Okay, well, speaking of heavyweights,